Hello friends, how's it going? Check out this new breakdown video on how I drew this huge bowl of ramen. The concept came about when I first saw the bowl design. I just thought of how many people might have eaten ramen in that same style bowl. And I thought, hey, it would be cool to see an Toro in a ceramic type of material. Haven't seen that yet, right? So I went to Procreate and started doodling. And thankfully, Procreate has a mirror tool, so all you gotta do is just one side and it replicates on the other. Boom, bam, all done, right? Wrong. So, mirror image is pretty fucking boring. So I put a little bit of my own sauce on there, noodles, chashu pork, some seaweed, some eggs, and got it, you know, a little bit more organic, a bit more interesting shapes in there rather than just like a mirrored shape. You know what I mean? So I started sketching, making sure all my lines are tight so I'm not problem solving later. What that means that is when I'm inking, I don't want to guess or figure out what line goes where. I want to make sure my sketch is tight, and all I gotta do is go right over it like I'm tracing. There's a little bit of styling, tapering my lines and stuff, but for the most part, all I gotta do is worry about following my sketch lines. So the next part, after that, I noticed that, it'd be cool if I do a little contrapposto, definitely not pronouncing that right, which is basically Italian for counterpose. You'll see it on their marble statues where one leg has all the weight and making them more relaxed kind of stands, right? Yeah, next time you look at some Greek statues, you start to notice this. But so after that, my lines are all nice and crisp. I'm all happy with them. I do a little bit of color blocking just to see where all my colors are going, referencing back to the bowl, just because I know this is where the emotional anchor comes in, right? That means that you can identify this bowl right away just from the shapes and the colors and the pattern that I'm trying to mimic in his horns. So after that, I got to color some pork, some seaweed, some noodles, some eggs, in my own little style. And then after the base colors are done, what I do is I add some shadows, and my shadows are it's like a dark to medium purple that I have set the opacity of 50%, and the layer style on Procreate I set to multiply. That way that the color purple is only tinting rather than going right on top of the colors I set before. And then after that I do a little bit of the highlights, which is basically layers set on screen with 50% opacity, 40% depending on how bright I need it to go. And then after that I add a little bit more details as far as like little lines here and there. And then on top of that is the fine details like the soup on the noodles and just little hints of more organic shapes. So now you have a hierarchy of shapes from the El Toro head to the noodles to the pork chashu to the egg and all the way down to the drips. And then finally I add the pink background. I just thought that would just really make the white pop. And then from there I'll add a little bit of shadow just so it suggests more of that tilt style for the piece. So I hope you enjoy this breakdown. I hope you learned something. If you do, please subscribe. Please, tell your friends about it, share, all that good stuff. For now, this is it, and I will check you out later. All right, man. Peace.